Let's see this one. What the oil crisis means for Europe and how to fix it. Let's see, is it good or is it
This video
just
is sponsored by
blabber?
NordVPN.
Nobody cares
Yesterday, on
about
my
that.
way home, I stopped at the petrol station, and as probably many of you are too, I was shocked at the prices. Here in Germany, it is now over 2 euros per liter for both petrol and diesel, which is crazy. And what makes this a lot worse is that only a couple of weeks ago, it was noticeably cheaper. This spike has happened with terrifying speed. And to be honest, Germany is really not alone here. Across all of Europe, there's a very similar story. Just have a look at Denmark, where prices have surged to an average of 2 euros 11 per liter for petrol and 2 euro 27 for diesel. In the Netherlands, prices are sitting very heavy too, at around 2 euros 15 per liter for petrol.
Already now I'm getting angry. Listen, the prices are high because these countries has taxes on their fuel, on the diesel, on the petrol. They have taxes, and because of the taxes, it's not a fixed amount. It's like in percentage. So when the price rise, the percentage is the same, but the price now for the tax are getting higher because the price for the oil is getting higher. That's reason number one. So it isn't because of that. It isn't only because, yeah, sure, it's because the price is on the oil is rising, sure, but it's more because of the tax system in those countries, and the politicians are greedy and don't know how to uh, get money to the state, so they are taxing the populations, and that is the reason why it's so high. Nothing else. If the tax system was a fixed amount and not in percentage, you wouldn't have this fluctuation, not this much of a fluctuation. And also, by the oiling having a fake price, because it's a fake price. Oil is it's the price is on through the stock market, so it can go up, it can go down. It's not like, oh, we have this much and this. It's not made on analytics. The price, it's made on the stock price. That also is a reason. So yeah, and Europe is not even that dependent on oil from the Middle East, so it doesn't. In theory, in theory, the prices of oil should not have any a minimal, just a minimal impact on Europe. It shouldn't be like this. This is only because of the politicians uh, making the populations economic slaves, and that is why the price is that, because it's not a fixed amount of taxes, it is based on percentage.
And in France, it's at 1 euro 90. So, if you drive a combustion car right now, you're definitely feeling this pain. And this is not just a European glitch either. Fuel prices are climbing vertically all over the world. And the reason is, of course, very simple: the war in Iran. I mean, just have a look.
Yeah, and people buying oil, the oil stocks for uh, for more than it's worth. That's basically it. It isn't because there isn't enough oil in the world. It's because people on the stock market are buying it at a higher price. That is why it's more expensive. That's basically it. Nothing else. If the stock market didn't change, the price of oil will be the same. Basically.
Look at this chart right here, where you can see the global price of crude oil per barrel. Right before Israel and the United States launched their Operation Epic Fury, the joint strikes on Iran that began on February the 28th, oil was trading very calmly at $70 per barrel. And as of today, March the 9th, crude oil prices have exploded. We've already seen it eclipse $110, and in some morning trades, it even flirted with $119 per barrel. That is an absolutely staggering jump in just 10 days. And right now, there's really no signs of it all slowing down. The main reason for this panic and rise of prices comes down to one tiny 50-kilometer wide gateway in the Middle East, the Strait of Hormuz. Sitting right between Iran and Oman, this is arguably the most important oil chokehold on the entire planet. Roughly 33% of all global seaborne oil trade and 20% of the world's liquefied natural gas exports pass through this very narrow stretch of water. Giant producers like Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Kuwait, the UAE, Qatar, and Iran all rely on this route to get their black gold to global markets. And if we take Iran as an example here, they are the OPEC's fourth largest producer, pumping about 3.3 million barrels every single day. Most of that flows through one specific spot, Karg Island. This island in the northern Persian Gulf is the central nervous system of Iran's oil economy. In fact, it's so important that about 90% of Iran's crude oil exports pass through Karg Island before tankers even reach the Strait of Hormuz. And right now, shipping through the strait hasn't just slowed down, it's been thrown into an utter chaos. And here's the part.
Listen, honestly, this shit is so slop. I don't even get how are people so dumb, bro? How are they so fucking dumb? Listen, Europe is not dependent that much on oil from the Middle East. It's mostly America, mostly China. I don't know which other countries need it. I don't know, Canada, I don't know. But Europe don't need it, bro. It's the only reason why the oil prices are going up is because of the stock market. Nothing else. That's it. If there was no stock market and this situation happened, the oil prices would not go up. Or if they did, it would be minimal, because the other places, they would just turn up production. It's that easy. Bruv, how the fuck are people not getting this, bruv?
That most people miss.
It's all a fucking illusion, bruv.
This strait doesn't actually need to be physically blocked by warships to stop the flow of oil. It's actually being blocked by lawyers and insurers. You see, every oil tanker is essentially a floating billion-dollar asset. And to move, they legally need insurance. No insurance pretty much means no travel. But since the war began, the risk has become impossible to manage. The Iranian Revolutionary Guard has...
Bruv, even when this is happening, Europe should not have this big of a fluctuation in the oil and the gas and the diesel price. That's it, bro. I don't know how these guys cannot get it, bro. It's all about fucking the governments being greedy, nothing fucking else, bro. If they removed the percentage tax and did it by a fixed amount, it would be easier. But then they cannot be greedy, bruv. And there cannot be corruption. And that's the reason. They need the money for corruption.
Officially warned the world that they will ablaze any vessel attempting to pass through the strait. And because of that threat, insurance premiums have gone through the roof. And many companies won't even offer insurance anymore at all. They simply walked away. And yeah, as you can imagine, right now there's hundreds of massive tankers just sitting at anchor in the Gulf of Oman and off the coast of the UAE. They are a floating parking lot, full of the millions of barrels of oil that the world desperately needs. So, even if the strait isn't officially closed by a navy, it is effectively closed by markets. And there are other factors at play too. Over the weekend, several major oil refineries, including facilities in Bahrain and near Tehran, were hit by strikes, taking even more supply offline. And we're even seeing countries and big companies starting to hoard their oil reserves, essentially panic buying, to stay ahead of the shortage. That extra demand is just adding more fuel to the fire, pushing global prices even higher. So, as long as this conflict...
Exactly. It's the fucking stock market. It's the fucking, what's it called? The futures, the fucking, all this other shit, bruv. It's that fucking shit that's pushing fucking this price up. Nothing fucking else, bruv. God, how fucking stupid are people,
continues,
bruv?
that war premium is going to keep the price at your local petrol station painfully high. But this is about a lot more than just what you pay at the pump. When oil prices spike this violently, it acts like a massive tax on the entire global economy. Think about it this way. Almost everything that you buy, from food to furniture, has to be shipped, manufactured, and transported using oil. And when fuel costs jump, the price of everything goes up. So if this conflict were to drag on a lot longer, we aren't just talking about a couple of bad months at the petrol station. We are talking about the risk of stagflation, a
That's not true. That's not true. That is not true. It's not true, bro. The stock market is a fucking illusion, bro. Everybody know it. If you know about the stock market and you really dig deep, you know that shit is an illusion. It's all about hype, nothing fucking else, blah blah blah. All that shit, bro. Everybody know it. But let's say a barrel on the international market went, I don't know, bro, 250. But countries that were still selling it for 100. You know, that's the illusion, bruv. It's you buying paper, nothing else. And the paper somehow is moving the fucking real fucking resources, their prices, bruv. That's the fucking retarded thing, bruv. The prices are not about demand, supply, nah, bruv. It's all about hype, paper, fucking stocks, nothing fucking else. That's it, bruv. I don't know how the fuck is this so difficult, bro. It should be fucking illegal. Oil should be illegal to be traded on the international market. Because we have seen through, I don't know how many years, if you go to fucking oil producing countries, you're gonna buy that shit cheaper than fucking on the market. And if you go to a fucking country where they fucking got embargoes or something, or can't trade with other countries, you get that shit cheaper than cheap, bro. So oil prices and the international prices has nothing to... All that shit is a fucking illusion to keep everybody as fucking economic slaves, fucking running around Monday to Friday, fucking working, waiting till the fucking weekend comes, so they're gonna have fucking 2 days off, man. Fuck that bullshit, bro. It's all a fucking illusion, bro. How the fuck is it so difficult, bro?
dangerous mix where economic growth grinds to a halt while prices stay sky high. It's basically the perfect recipe.
You know the problem? It's like these guys. Like this guy, man. He's the problem. He's a fucking indoctrinated fucking schoolgirl. Nothing else, bruv. Bruv, he don't know shit. He only knows what's written in the fucking indoctrination in the fucking school books.
For a global recession. So, this leaves us with the €1,000,000 question. What can Europe actually do about it? And the answer really falls into two different buckets.
No, there will not be a global recession. What will happen? The American stock market and the control America has over the stock market will be destroyed. And by that, America will lose all its power around the world. That's basically it. But Europe, it will not touch Europe. Because Europe is not dependent, bro. Norway can fucking give everybody in Europe fucking oil, bruv. Norway has so fucking much oil, bruv, they can give everybody oil, bruv. Bruv, you don't know what you're talking about. All this shit, you don't know what they're talking about, bruv.
We have short-term emergency fixes and long-term structural changes. And in the immediate future, Europe has basically three main levers. And the first one is securing the highway. French President Emmanuel Macron has already
That's not gonna happen. Let me tell you what Europe's plan is. And everybody fucking knows Europe's plan. Listen, Europe is not gonna need fucking oil in fucking 10 years. In 10 years, oil is obsolete. 15 years, oil is not used in Europe. Maybe for machines, robots, and all of this, but not for fucking cars, bruv. Who the fuck is so stupid? How the fuck are these guys fucking analyzing and fucking doing shit and they don't know shit, bruv? Listen, Europe right now is going on a green revolution. They are fucking only importing and selling as much as they can electric cars, everything. The way they're building houses, they're building them the more climate neutral and more putting more isolation and making it more better. They're making it more, keeping heat in and all of this. Bruv, they're making so much different things, bruv. They're moving to electricity from oil. Bruv, what is this guy talking about? What is this guy talking about? Europe don't need oil, bro. This is bullshit.
Proposed international naval escorts for oil tankers. And the logic here is super simple. If warships are protecting the tankers, the physical risk drops, and so do those insane insurance tickets that we just talked about. Second, breaking into the emergency stash of oil. Most industrial nations, like Germany, France, and the US, keep massive strategic oil reserves for exactly this very reason. And by releasing millions of barrels onto the market at once, governments can artificially increase supply and blunt the price spikes. We've seen this work before in 2011, during the Libyan war, and again in 2022, after the invasion of Ukraine. Third, political band-aids. Governments can step in with temporary tax cuts on fuel, commuter subsidies, or even energy price caps. Obviously, these don't lower the global price of oil, but they can give temporary relief to consumers who are going to get petrol for their car. But let's be
What he's trying to say by doing this last part,
very, very honest.
the economic slaves, they're not gonna be touched so much. And they can move on with the slave mind life again. That's basically what he's saying.
Here. These are just band-aids. They will not heal the wound. As long as Europe's transport and economy are addicted to oil, the continent will always be a hostage to
It's not, bruv. It's not. Europe's economics are not fucking dependent on oil. Bruv, fucking trucks over here in Europe are fucking on electricity, bruv. The new fucking trucks are on electricity, bruv. What is this guy talking about, bruv? All the European societies will have moved on to electricity in, I don't know, man, 10 years, bruv. 15 years max. Everything is gonna be fucking electricity, bruv. These fucking combustible cars with the diesel and petrol, they will be fucking on museums, bruv. They're gonna be worth fucking a lot of money, bruv. Honestly, bruv. Bruv, already over here, in the big cities, you can't drive in with your car, bruv, if it's not having filters and all of this shit in the engines and the exhausts and bruv, this guy don't know shit. Is this guy even from fucking Europe? I don't know, man.
geopolitics, whether the crisis in the Middle East or Eastern Europe. Therefore, in my opinion, there's only really
This guy, I don't know, is he from Europe?
one way out of this situation, and that is that we as Europeans need to stop needing so much oil in the first place. And to be honest, that starts with electrification. Think about it. The more cars, buses, and trucks that run on batteries, the less a crisis in the Strait of Hormuz affects your daily commute. And for sectors
Still, the thing happening with the oil from the Middle East still has no fucking influence on fucking Europe, bro. It's the only fucking reason it has is because of America's stock market. Nothing else. How the fuck are people so fucking dumb, bro?
that can't easily electrify, like cargo ships and airplanes, Europe needs to invest heavily into hydrogen and synthetic e-fuels. But of course, we do need to realize that electrification also creates a whole bunch of new challenges, because it shifts our dependency away from the oil market and onto the power grid. And right now, as we've seen over the last couple of years, that market has its own ups and downs too. And that's why a local diversified energy system is so important. France, for example, has handled this relatively well by keeping a large fleet of nuclear power plants online. And of course, on the other hand, we have Germany, who kind of went in the opposite direction, shutting down more than 30 reactors and making them far more vulnerable to price shocks. And this is why I believe a European energy union is so important, as the goal here would be to connect Europe's energy market.
No. Europe, there shouldn't be a centralized European energy union. No. Because listen, bruv. Listen. If it gets centralized, bruv, somebody gonna take over that shit and run everything, bruv. They can fucking turn on lights, turn off lights, turn on lights, turn off lights. Why the fuck would anybody give the power? Listen, that shit is just dumb, bruv. People are not just gonna give the fucking national energy infrastructure to some guys in Brazil or wherever these guys are. That's just a fucking dumb idea, bruv. You can make, that's the good thing about Europe. You can, in the European Union, you can make laws and say, okay, you need to have this energy infrastructure, at least in your country. You can have better, but at least it should be able to cover this, and this. But you can't say, oh, we're gonna centralize. Nah, bro, forget about it. Ain't gonna happen.
Markets so tightly that they basically function as one system. And that means massive new power lines between countries, common rules for gas storage, and major...
Is this guy retarded? This already... Listen. This guy don't know shit about European energy infrastructure, obviously. Because if he knew anything, he would already know that countries already have that. European countries already have energy or electricity cables between the countries, and they're selling each other's electricity and buying. Because let's say, I don't know, Norway is, let's say, I don't know, Germany is producing a lot of electricity right now because the solar panels are working, or blah blah, wind, what's it called? Windmills are working and all of that, you know? So now they're producing a lot, and with all the rest, they're selling it. So let's say, I don't know, what's a country next to, like, I don't know, Denmark. Let's say in Denmark there's clouded and there's not enough wind and all of this, then the Germans or the Danish are going into the market. They have a market, and then they're buying up electricity from Germany. So what the fuck is this guy even talking about, bro?
Programs like Repower EU to flood the grid with, yes, renewable energy. And one of the biggest pieces of this puzzle is the
It's
North
already
Sea Green
happening.
Power Plant. It's
This shit is already happening and have been there in.
a huge offshore network designed to connect wind farms from several countries into one big shared grid.
Why?
Because really, in the end, the logic is pretty
How the fuck should that make sense, bro? How the fuck, if it's. This is so fucking dumb. Why the fuck would you centralize all the wind energy in one system? That's not even possible, bro. That's not even. Why would you lay cables? That it doesn't make sense. This guy don't know shit, bro.
simple.
This guy don't know
Energy
shit. What
produced
he's
here in
talking about.
Europe doesn't have to pass through a 50-kilometer wide choke point like the Strait of Hormuz.
Still, Europe is not that dependent on oil from the Middle East. I think it's 5 to 10, maybe 15% at max. At max. So I don't know what this guy is talking about. This is just bullshit.
It's homegrown and therefore super secure. And it's one of the very few ways Europe can truly take its energy future out of the hands of these global conflicts. And of course, another thing I really want to mention here is a unified foreign policy for Europe. As we've noticed again with Iran, we have 27 opinions across the continent, and we do
And
not have one approach to the problem in
and
the Strait of Hormuz. If we did, if we had one foreign policy, if we had one European army, then securing a strait like
hell no. No, 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 no. This guy and people like him can never have power in Europe. This shit will end fucking horrible, bro. It will fucking end very bad for the rest of the world if fucking Europe gets centralized. It will be the fucking end for the fucking Europeans, bruv. Bruv, forget about it, bruv. All culture, all, everything, bruv. Everything will just get deleted and be centralized, and you will be told how to act, how to think. If you're not in the box, you're gonna get deleted, bruv. That's what's gonna happen, bruv. Hell no, bruv.
the Strait of
Hell
Hormuz.
no, bro. Why? It doesn't even make sense. Why the fuck? Just because somebody wants to support one side, then the rest, if they don't want to support that side, they cannot support the other side. Fuck no, bro. That's just a fucking stupid idea. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. The European Union has its place, but not true. The European Union can never be above a European country. Never, bruv. That should never be permitted.
Might actually be doable. Or you might even have enough power to stop conflicts like this completely. Anyway, right now, the world does feel increasingly unstable. Wars, cyber attacks,
Okay, this guy is getting talking points from somehow some lobby group. I don't know, bro. But this shit he's saying is not his words. It's not his analysis. This shit is just fucking guy slop.
data leaks, and governments blocking access to information are becoming so common. And when these things get tense globally, protecting your digital privacy becomes more
Forget about
important
it,
than
bro.
ever. And that's why today's sponsor, NordVPN, link in the description, and attackers can suddenly discount
Is that
on
it?
a Kristen and Peter Clement
Enough VPN. That shit is expensive. Fuck enough VPN, man. Fuck you guys. You shit. You fuckers. You expensive enough VPN. What you doing? Fucking fuck that shit, man. But still, bruv. All this other shit. Forget about it, bruv. Europe just needs to cut America off. America needs to, all the European countries need to get in and vote, and they need to vote to cut off America from Europe. That's it. And Europe doing its own thing with its interests, with its. Bruv, Europe is fucking destroying itself for America's fucking interests. If fucking Europe stopped fucking being a bitch for fucking America, listen, Europe always have been more cultural, always have more history. Oh, listen, bruv. Fuck, bruv. I don't get this shit, bro. Yo, listen, Europeans, get some fucking balls, bro. Don't be so fucking bitch. Don't be bitches for fucking America, bruv. Honest. So yeah, see you guys next time.